And from there, you got to go split the loot. Oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No, we had to go turn in a chunk of it and sell a chunk of it and go through more paperwork bullshit.
We got to the next session before any of that, which was Surprising Turns and Tentacles, which was on the way back. You guys heard the Autude fight. Pat, the Autude. And, you know, I got to play a little bit with, like, three-dimensional dungeon design. Like, you hear a problem directly below you with, you know, it's a unique set of challenges. And that fight was fun. Once again, like, close calls all around. Stan being held underwater by a golem.
Yeah, that was unpleasant. And we also had to ask the question: how do you get a crab to go up a ladder while keeping all the stuff in its back? Which is that you don't.
Right, you take all the stuff off, right? Which I have a feeling had a lot to do with some of your crafting later, right, David?
Yeah, I saw it coming. Like, at some point, there's gonna be a sheer cliff face or something. If there's anything to grab onto, she can climb it, but anything smooth or anything like that, it was gonna be an issue. So I'd already been brainstorming ways around that, and that was just the one I landed on.
Right, but hadn't yet implemented by the time it was time to climb up 100-and-something foot rope before the black mold encapsulated you.
My first thought was just an incredibly powerful tightened spring on her undercarriage that I would trigger, and she just launches straight up.
I have a feeling that'll come later.
Oh, she has one. It's just not that strong.
You just have
need to be like it would have needed to be like a 200-foot jump, and hers is more like a 30.
Right. Oh, that's good times. So that was the race out on that episode, and once again, you guys encountered a lot less than I had sketched out in the sewer levels, and that's okay. I mean, that's why I do broad sketches and wait for you to interact with something before I do anything with it, because I could have figured out all of the brood mothers and all of the like tribe that works with the sewer monkey. But I didn't know if you were going to go there, so I didn't bother. It turns out, I knew you were going to have to interact with the alchemists, so I worked them out. And the Reavers didn't take a whole lot. Not a whole lot of internal politics. Like, you're one of us. No, you're food. But yeah, I mean, and in this city, even the sewer has Byzantine politics. Like I had intertribal politics all figured out, not because it was ever gonna happen, but because to make an internally consistent world, I had to know what was going to happen based on what you guys did down at the sewers. And I have a running tab, by the way, of like actions and consequences from this campaign. Just a list of like shit you've done that's going to have an effect later on, which includes, by the way, the Ravager or the Rat Warden tribe no longer has a leader, and this may have an impact in the sewers. I don't know what that'll be yet. Don't know if it's ever going to be important yet. But
we also
next time you go down to the sewers, it's going to be different.
We also made friends with a garbage monster. Insane.
And, like, not just saved him, like, by the end of it, I think that he just adored Stan.
He gave Stan a magic friggin' shield.
Yeah.
He did give me a magic shield.
Some trash is good.
Right. And again, I hadn't really realized it until later, but in this most recent series of events that have come up, like, once again, Stan, like you guys are coming down from above. Like Stan enters with the fall on them strike. It's I would say I was foreshadowing if I knew it was going to happen. So. Or maybe all of these events are just me doing a couple of foreshadowing callbacks to something really big that I don't know what it's going to be.
Well, you know what? I was going to say a thing, but I'm not going to say a thing because it'll give you an idea. I don't want to give you that idea. It's a bad idea.
Oh. That's fair. So that was that episode. The fight ended in an interesting way too. You intuited through my descriptions the weakness of my homebrew golem, which I thought was cool. It makes me feel good as a GM. Like, oh, I described that okay.
It was the like, okay, this might work, or it's just going to be I was so worried because it's like every spell is not doing anything useful. And yes, I have this bag full of stuff, but like, I've got enough of a weird grab bag of spells. There's got to be something. This is either the right thing to do or the wrongest thing to do was exactly what I was thinking. Like, either it was going to work or it was going to, like,
kill everyone.
Yeah, basically.
Or it was going to choke out your paladin is what was going to happen.
Which is why I was like, all right, so
a pivotal time. Like it still had kind of the upper hand. Its damage resistance was making it hard for you guys to really get in good strikes. And you know, your paladin was giving it to him, but he was also being held underwater and had been for like a round or something. But with that, like the massive shot that you gave him there, he like the only option it had was to run. Like, survive. If I'm going to survive this fight, I must flee. Which didn't get it very far because it didn't know that Stan had the sentinel feat. So.
It'd be weird if he did know that.
Right. Then I would be a really dick of a GM if I meted that.
How do you know all my moves?
There are GMs that want their players to survive and will bend things to keep the story going, and then there are GMs who will try to actively kill their gamers. And I mean, I guess if you're in for a like Hunger Games style sort of thing, that GM might be fun to play with, but...
Well, and if you've all agreed on that situation, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But when the players are there for the story and the DM is there to collect bodies, that's not a fun time.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, I absolutely have the skills as a GM to just murder you every session and still make it, like, believable. You guys would get good, interesting deaths. I mean, I will challenge you every session, and I take a little pride in the fact that like you guys are consistently like, you know, having to make that epic push at that epic dramatic push at the end of the fight. Like, no, this is either gonna work or we're all dead.
It's not an impressive victory for the DM to kill their party. The DM controls everything else.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly
You can
aware.
hit your characters with a meteorite if you want to.
I used to call it the space cow. Like if I wanted your character dead, a cow would fall out of space and hit your character, and nothing survives the crater.
A poisonous cow covered in spikes.
Yeah, with your name on it.
Yes.
Space cow.
All right, so I take back the previous request for art and would like, if there are any artists, to give us space cow art. Like, I want to ask Iguana Mouth for space cow art. Oh my god, when this gets on the internet, I'm going to share it with them.
Space cow, poisonous cow is covered in spikes.
Iguanamouth would be the artist to do that. Oh my god, they're amazing. They do dragon hordes and like mash up lizards, and they're good.
Nice.
Well, get them on the line.
Yeah.